the way. Mic's out of the way. Mic's in now. Doing it without headphones on tonight because I don't really need them. But how are we all? How's today been? Exciting day, isn't it? Exciting day. Love to hear what you think about everything that's gone on so far. We're going to have a look through everything. Hey, DJ! Remember, DJ's going live in a little while as well for the FarmSim show. So definitely tune into that. I am going to let this run for an hour or so. There's a small matter of an England game in the European Championships, which I would like to go and watch later on. I've been grinding the axe for the last few days. Busy, so it will be nice. 1 hour, well, perfect. Right, I'll finish and DJ can start, and I'll go watch the football, and I'll watch DJ in the background as well. How are we, everywhere? I have an hour. Thanks, Mark. What do we reckon? What's the vibe? I'm excited. I'm quite interested. There's the positivity straight away, right? And then there's been a few naysayers in, it's just going to be the FS19 reskin. But first and foremost, how can you tell from what we've had released today? All right, there's a couple of screenshots, and we'll touch on those in a little bit. There's a couple of screenshots, but in general, there's some interesting stuff. Dynamic terrain and weather. You know, what does that look like? We don't know yet. So you really can't say it's just going to be another reskin. We're just going to have to wait and see. And we're going to get a lot more information over the next few weeks, let's be honest. FarmCon's going to be busy. We're going to get a whole chunk of stuff going. Exactly, DJ. We've been asking for months, so there you go. That radio silence meant they were working away hard as back in Germany getting stuff ready. So looking forward to seeing if there's any sort of course. Well, you know what? There's workers in the game. They know it's a challenge, so maybe they're going to rework that. We don't know. And Giants know that they don't release everything in one go. So I think we've seen the tip of the iceberg here, and they did it with 22. It will continue to roll interesting and informative stuff out as time goes on. So let's wait and see. Buildable missions are promising. Dynamic terrain, weather and dynamic terrain definitely making people interested for sure. So yeah, we'll see. I'm on actually my edit PC tonight rather than my gaming PC because I didn't want the steering wheel and everything in front of me because I'm going to be clicking around and we're going to be looking through stuff. But let's have some fun. I'm just going to subtly lean over to the side there because I'm sitting in my new tractor seat that was delivered yesterday. Man, it's comfy, but it's not about that tonight. There'll be a video coming on that later on. Right, let's jump into a bigger screen, I think, shall we? How do we want to play this? I mean, should we play the trailer first and stop it at certain points? I think that might be a good way of kind of determining where we go. And like, people shout, and if they see stuff that maybe I've not spotted, I'll tell you what I've kind of seen, and then you can jump out and tell me what you think. So obviously we saw that too loud. That is loud. There we go. We don't need it much more loud than that, do we? So I mean, dead giveaway straight away with the rice. We know there's rice. We know there's going to be two types of harvesting of rice or planting, and two ways of doing rice. One is going to be the paddy field way, which we see here. I think when it arrives in a little minute. Water buffalo, I don't know whether they'll be for milk or they'll be for beef. I was speaking to Hamish before. Hamish said, well, buffalo mozzarella, right? That's a cheese. So water buffalo, you know, they can produce milk, but they could potentially be used for beef cattle as well. Honestly, wish they would stop CGI trails and show gameplay, but also, yeah, every gaming company under the sun builds a bit of hype with this, don't they? So there we go. Rain. Now, whether or not this is so, last time with 22, we pulled it apart. I remember doing this, pulling it apart, and everybody it was like, oh, it's this. Remember, she was holding the crop, and it was it was corn, wasn't it? And it was all damaged and blighted, and the crop had ruined. And we were like, yes, we're going to get ruined crops if things don't go. And they were like, yeah, that was just It was just kind of creative license within the CGI trailer. So take this with a pinch of salt, right? Take this with a pinch of salt. But that rain is interesting. Maybe there's something in that. A bit of lightning as well is quite fun. This is where I kind of get excited. So obviously we're back in the US somewhere. You can tell by the grain bins over here. Tilling here. I stop it here. Look, it says summers here. Now, I did a little bit of research when I saw that. So summers, and I know I talked about this before on Argsy Stream, and if you've seen my video, you will notice that as well. Somewhere I have got a picture of summers. Where have I put it? This is good, isn't it? Well organised, FSG. Well done. So summers do this massive chisel tiller thing. There we go. And they are a US-based a producer of this stuff. So quite interested with that. That looks pretty good. That is it again in real life. So that's definitely coming, and they're definitely a new brand. So that's interesting. Will it have no till? Yes, bud, I'm sure it will. Really hope to see whether playing more of a factor, soil deformation, working mods. So yeah, so the soil deformation I think is an interesting one. Actually, if you look at the pack cover, we'll finish this and then we'll go into the pack covers. But I wonder if it's a little bit more like the real dirt mods for the wheels and some of those add-ons. We'll wait and see. Water pumps as well. I think that could be like almost like what would you call it? Just a bit like pumps and hoses. You know what I mean? You can create. I'm interested to see how you can build the banks for paddy fields and stuff like that. If we've got paddy fields, yeah, I don't know what the plan is there. Asian foreground, US back. Well, you can put a paddy field anywhere in the world if you want, Hamish. Yeah, I never had rain, and I've gone ages without having rain. It's bizarre. Wonder if heavy fields can flood your regular crops. I'm reading both the vertical stream and the horizontal stream here, so I'll kind of move that out of the way so I can see stuff. Chat's going off. Chat's going off, people. The fog and the ray tracing. So I think there's something with that distance stuff as well, with the fog and the ray tracing. Like, hopefully we're going to get better performance because it's not loading everything way off in the distance. You're going to get this kind of fog on this haze. Other people, hey, FS are in the house. Shout out to the guys from FS. They've been obviously working like Trojans over the last little while to get this ready to be released to us. So big up the crew at FS. But yes, Aprilia there. So clearly we're going to get some sort of motocross bikes, which is good. Irrigation could be a thing across the board as well. Let's run this a little bit further. There we go. The 9R. Just discussed a modding release theirs in the next few days. We've got it in the new cab. That's like a new one as well. That's a new cab on it as well. So that's cool. And then here we have got J&M. So J&M carts in here as well, which is cool. And I called this when I saw this is the S7. I actually saw one of these at Highland Show on Saturday, so that's cool. Are you getting those alerts? So yeah, let's run this a little bit further. So again, these birds flying as well. Is this an extension of more animals that we're going to see? It does say more animals, so we shall see if there's going to be more than just the blackbirds flying around the fields. Duracell, thank you very much for the $15 super chat, my friend. That is amazing. Thank you for the great content, FS Guy. You are very welcome. I'm glad I can bring it to you. So that is that's awesome. Thank you very, very much for that. Is Farming Simulator really happening? It really is, Aaron. I can say that. Somebody also said here, pre-order for Xbox. There won't be a pre-order for Xbox just yet. That might be coming in the next few days. The website is only for PC and Mac. Can you pre-order it via Steam? I don't know yet, actually. I'm going to say probably probably you can, actually, yeah. Drizzle with 10 gifted memberships as well. Fantastic. Fantastic. Thank you very much, mate. That's awesome. What are we looking at here? Sorry, I'm just catching up on the chat. It's going so fast. But yeah, there we go. Right. Biggest deal for me, green in the logo. And you know why? It's the same green as my company. So Giants have got taste. That's what I'm saying. There you go. FS25 is on Steam. Thank you, Matt Riley Creative. Thank you, Pro Farmer DK. Thank you, Iceberg. Yes, it's already there. You obviously can't support the channel if you buy it from Steam, but buy it wherever you want, right? It's no big deal. When's it coming out? It's coming out on the 12th of November. So we've got a little bit of time to go yet. We've probably got another 5 months to go. But that means we can keep playing FS, and there's still some good mods coming out for FS22. So there we go. I wondered if there was something, because we tend to have a kind of character in the trailer sometimes, don't we? I wondered if there was it was a hint towards an overhaul of how chickens are done or something like that. So we'll have to wait and see. FarmSim Briscoe, do the modders get it early? I don't know, Briscoe. Now, usually at FarmCon they have a like a modder Q&A session. Obviously, I don't think you're going to be there, are you? But Mark Haythornthwaite is there, and Jan are there from the community, and I'll be there. So if there's anything interesting in there, if there's any questions you want to ask as a modder, if there is such an event, I don't know if there is yet, but if there is, we can ask you some questions if you want. When is the collected edition available for pre-order? Good question, Scooter. Now, my view with that is, because it's the collector's edition is a physical box with a DVD of the game in it, or 2 DVDs of the game in it. They won't have pressed those DVDs. They'll still be developing the game. They won't have finished it yet. So I don't think we'll see. I don't think we'll see them maybe being released a little bit later on, based on last time. They came out a little bit closer to launch time. The digital version you can pre-order off the website, but not the boxes, not the boxes. I think they'll be available through Amazon and Walmart in the States and places like that, or wherever they distribute them to. So interesting. We'll see. David, looks like I need a new Xbox. Yes. So looks like they've dropped support for. Well, they have dropped support for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Probably frustrating for some people, but I also understand that the world's moving on, and you know, their legacy systems now. So actually, they are holding the game back a little bit from a graphics perspective. Siphon, this seems almost silly. I would think a digital code would come with the collectors as well. It does. So the box has a digital code on it, so you don't need to use the discs if you don't want to. You can put it in and download it digitally. The ignition box is cool. Yeah, the ignition box is cool. So yes, I think we'll see maybe an uplift, and we'll see it in some of the images actually later on. So let's get rid of that for now. Let's pull up. I did have a kind of run sheet for what we were going to look at. So let's have a look at the boxes here. I think these are quite nice. There's a collector's edition with the starter key, the USB ignition key there, so you can glue your beacon on top of that, and you're good to go. Same class tractor on all of them. There's 3 versions. There's one for Germany, Austria, and Switzerland. There is one for the international market, and there is a US version. So there's the US version with this class 715 case 715 quad track, and also you can see down there we've got the MacDon pack, which we'll come on to in a little minute as well, which is a pre-order bonus. Then we have got the German, Swiss, Austrian version as well here, which is nice with the class Zerion there. And there's a few things in here which we kind of didn't explore the other day, but look, for example, there's these different birds. There's the stork is back, from Erlengrat, but there's 2 other types of bird up there. So I think we might see a lot more variety in the Duracell with another 10 gifted subs. Thank you very much, mate. That's awesome. But cool, it's so yesterday. How many cars need a key now? That's fair. That is fair. A collector's edition prices. Collector's edition is 79. I know the UK price is £79. Tractors still use physical keys, though. There we go. That security thing. Semper Buffalo, how you doing? Nice to see you. Joss flying giraffes. Do you know if the John Deere 9RX 830 even will be included as a tractor from Case and Club? We don't know yet, Jay. We only know what you know, so maybe. This is the other thing I want to know, and this is kind of talks to maybe the deformable ground here. I think we might see streams and stuff and mud rather than you can dig a big hole like Terraform. That's my gut feel. I think it will be deformable ground light, but we'll wait and see, right? We will wait and see. That's right, Alan, as far as I can tell, yeah. Greg McDermott, how you doing? Nice to see. Exciting times indeed, my friend. Exciting times indeed. Hello, Cher, how are you doing? You've written your letter to Santa, bless. Very good. So you cannot get it on PS4. Unfortunately not. No, it's just PS5. And this is the international version with the Valtra. Again, moved a few things about on the cover. So we've got the birds have moved over there, but it's the same birds. Looks good, that Valtra. Hamish and I saw this at the Highland Show the other day, actually. So very nice. People shouting in the background, sorry. Bee here, there's a little rogue bee here as well, so that's interesting. So there you go, that's the covers. Now I'm going to go on to, straight away, I'm going to look at, before that, we'll come back to that. We are going to quickly have a look at what's included in the collector's edition. So the PC game in the MacDon pack, again, we'll touch on that. Can you get it on Xbox One? Unfortunately not, Elijah. No. Lars has just ordered the game. Good man. Thank you very much. Does look like the mud behind the tractor on the cover. It does. I think I'm quite positive about that. Quite positive about that. I'll check that price, Jos. We'll pull up the website in a little minute, actually. Now, this is interesting. The 16-bit version of the game they've created as well. A little 16, I was going to say 8-bit, but you know what I mean, like an isometric version of the game. That could be quite good fun. A little bit different there. With a soundtrack as well. The modding tutorials version 6, so new modding tutorials. That's interesting. 32 brand stickers. The New Holland CR11, which we saw at Agritechnica, didn't we? As an FS22 model, but never made it into the game. But obviously they were thinking about how they were going to develop it going forward. Now this is interesting. A few people have pulled this apart. It's hard to see from here, but a few people have tried to decipher it. We think there might be peas and beans as new crops as well, based on that crop calendar. So we'll see what happens with that. We've got a keychain here as well, which you get even if you buy the regular version. You get the keychain and the MacDon pack and the USB ignition key. So I love that. It's a bit of fun, right? But it all adds to the immersion at the end of the day. All adds to the immersion at the end of the day. Red Kite's coming in the Highland, where I think Hamish is nailed on about the expansion pack, which I think is fun. So we will see what that brings, shall we? Let me just bit of audio in the background as well for fun. Right, Season Pass. Now, I was really excited about this. For me, this was something that kind of jumped out. And since that, we've had a really good chat in our Discord about what these could be. So here's our thinking. This is kind of like a community gathering of thoughts so far. But innovative machinery, what could that be? There's loads of innovative machinery for farming. Somebody threw in the fact that maybe it was the Nexat or something like that. But there's tons of stuff. Yeah, so Hamish is saying Nexat as well, yeah. So we'll see. Plains and Prairies is the Clint Eastwood DLC. If they can get the rights to use his name, Jos. If they can't, it's probably just going to be some US machinery. But Maybe Clint's driving it. I don't know. But yes, I think that is Plains and Prairies suggests American equipment, right? Performance on Plains and Prairies. We'll just have to wait and see what that is, but that's good. John Chambers, I'm still using RTX 2080 Ti. That will laugh at the new version of the game. The specs aren't crazy for it again. Autonomous tractors again. Connor, could be some robot tractors up there in that innovative machinery thing as well. Definitely. So the stars align now. Leo goes fishing. The stars align. We were thinking, well, what do you need to run GPS? You need satellites. So maybe it's a clue around satellite triangulation or something like that. So I mean, don't go around going, oh, FSG says GPS. I don't know, but putting that. But also somebody else said, like if you ignore the stars align and you look at the icon there, that's a bit SnowRunner-y. You've seen the SnowRunner loading screen. It's a bit like that. So that looks like maybe this is 4x4. Like maybe this is 4-wheel drives. Maybe there's actually US like Chevy or Dodge or somebody look up a US 4x4 brand that's got a stars in its logo. What US truck brand has got stars in its logo? That's what that is. GPS confirmed. Seriously, that just like the light bulb's just gone off. Subaru. Maybe. Yeah, it doesn't have to be US. I know people have been asking for US. I might be reaching here, but Western Star, Polaris. Get on the Google. What have we got, people? This is why we're here. Lots of minds are better than one. Hill climbing. I thought that, yeah, it could be some sort of kind of off-roading, Trimble, Western Star trucks. I don't know what a Western Star truck is, but... Barvinder, nice to see you. How are you? Good to have you here. Okay. Mercedes trucks. We don't have Mercedes in the game, do we? Mercedes semis. Well, that looks off-road, like hill climbing or kind of, I don't know. Then, right, let's park that. Let's like tin foil, like I'm going to have to go and get some foil from the kitchen and put it on my head if we keep going like this. Excellent, John. Well done. Oh, love it. Love it. This, though, I mean, that painted background is Scotland. I mean, it literally is. It looks like that. Stone houses like that, sandstone houses, dry stone walls. All right, it could be Lake District, it could be Wales, it could be Northern Ireland, but that's quintessentially UK, British, Irish, Scottish, Welsh, whatever you want to call it. That I would even go as far as to say that looks like a Highland cow. So that really does look like that looks like a Highland cow. It's a grey Highland cow, but that is a Highland cow. If we've got a Scottish map, they've done that because of me. They've gone, we know what, we're going to pay homage to FSG in FS20. That's what it's. That's it. It's a huge shout out to FSG. Okay, now I am reaching. You get my point. No, they've done it for me. Okay, realistic. Okay, they've done it for all the Scottish FarmSim players. There we go. How about that? No, I need to do your head's hurting, Scooter. So there we go. But that map looks already from one image looks utterly epic. Utterly epic. Boss grabbing the popcorn, good stuff. Well, exactly. They're going to have to put dynamic weather in if they put a Scottish map in because it'll need to rain 5 times a day, snow twice a day, the wind needs to whip up, and then it needs to be 30 degrees in the sunshine, and then it needs to go back to raining 10 minutes later. So, but that could be exciting. I hope it's Bud. Hopes it's a Scottish map. Andre, hello from Latvia. Stop to believe for real improvements FA since FS19. Sorry, but for me, it's done. I think that's a really naive way to look at. They've showed us a CGI trailer and 5 screenshots, and people are writing off the game. I think that's madness. I've also seen a lot of people today saying, "Oh, FS22 was a reskin 19, so this is going to be a reskin 22." If you know anything about game dev, all right, maybe it's not as developed as people thought, but equally at the same time, FS22 performance-wise, under the hood, and what they did with the game engine was a leap ahead of where they had it in 19, and I expect to see a leap like that again, especially with them dropping PS4 and Xbox One. So, you know, I mean, fine. If you don't want to buy it, don't buy it. But equally, I think just writing it off after seeing a CGI trailer is a bit naive, to be honest, in my eyes. Right. So yes, really excited about that. Right. Let's quickly look at the MacDon pack. I hadn't seen the DLC update. They have another 6 months to develop more. You don't promise what you can't deliver. You can't know. Exactly, Mark. Exactly. I think you're right. New map directory is almost ready for 25. Might need you for some branding. Count me in, Jos. Count me in. I'd like to help you if I can. So here, I mean, I even now, like the detail in the trees is way improved. You can see that straight away. This is clearly a little bit of a sneak peek of the US map. I don't know what beyond that we'll see at the moment. Then we'll kind of... John George Van Eck from South Africa, nice to see you. How are you? Andrew Roberts from Australia as well. Hello, nice to see you. Lee McQueen, fingers crossed for triple monitor support or VR support. I think that would be a mic drop if they did that, I think. So MacDon is nice. This really annoys me. Of all the relatively simple things to fix, 2-dimensional textures for swath. Now, somebody with a gaming background will be able to say, well, it's not that easy to do, and that's the reason it's not been done. But that makes me a little bit sad. I was kind of hoping for something more exciting than that. Now, on the flip side of that, I'm just seeing somebody talking about shadows in here. Who was saying nice shadows look better? They have said the shadows, there's a vast improvement into the way shadows work. So, you know, you can see there, that looks a lot better than it used to be. You can see still we've got kind of kinks in the pipe that isn't completely smooth on the pipe. So they're obviously doing something to keep poly count relatively lightweight where they can to avoid too many issues with performance. But they do say they have improved the shadows quite a lot, which is interesting. The MacDon being a pre-order bonus is disappointing, and the min system requirements are really low. That's true, Jamie. But obviously, if you pre-order the game, you get the MacDon pack included. The MacDon DLC looks like if you want to buy it separately, if you post-launch. So we'll see. You can see the hand railing reflecting. Yeah, there's some nice little touches here, which is nice, isn't it? And again, I've always been a big fan of Giants models as well. I think they do really, really nice detailed models. You know, everybody raves about custom modding and stuff like that, and custom modding stuff is epic. But the Giant stuff's up there with it in terms of quality. People kind of moan about base game equipment, but base game equipment's really, really good. Idaho, it's coming out on the 12th of November. Why does the keychain in premium edition show 17? Oh, I don't know. I didn't see that. I'm going to have to go back and look at that. Keychain. 17. No, that's the G for Giants. I see where you're coming from, but that's the G for Giants. Right, back to our pictures. So that's the MacDon. These are the ones I pulled off the MacDon DLC page. So that's just almost like a flip of the other one. It's a view of it from the other side. And this shows that we are actually going to get swathing in base game, which is great. that is a nice step in the right direction. Niche at best. So swathing again, kind of maybe harking towards the US audience. I know swathing is done elsewhere in the world, but I think it's predominantly kind of US, Canada, maybe a little bit in Australia. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. But yeah, look, there's some lovely reflections and stuff in there. It's nice. It's nice. Again, a little bit disappointed by this, although there's a little bit more detail in it. So the texture hasn't been updated, but the kind of graphical texture underneath it has. But it's not unfortunately three-dimensional, which I thought we'd see. Okay, so we do OSR in the UK intro. Thanks, Enigma. I appreciate that. There we go. The AF11, a new class. I did it again, didn't I? Case Combine that was released last year. Now, here's a few things I want to note in here, because this is talks to a little bit more about maybe what's happening with the graphics. Do we know if there'll be interactive control from start? I don't know. I don't know yet. The crop texture, I think, is a lot more dense than it is in. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's a total placebo here, but I think that crop texture looks a lot more dense than it did in FS22. Also, the trees, again, we talked about this before. Trees look a lot more detailed, which is nice. And again, look at the sharpness of the rocks there. I'm zooming in on an image here. But the sharpness of the rocks there. So I was blown away in the premium edition, platinum edition, not premium edition. In the platinum edition, so Silver and Forest, the detail and the quality, they really ramped up the quality and the detail on that map. So I think we'll see that kind of across the board in 2025. Texture of the cut grass looks different. Don't know if you noticed it when looking at the MacDon. Let's go and have a look back at that as you're shouting stuff out. So this texture is lovely. The uncut grass looks a lot thicker as well. And then this cut grass looks a lot thicker as well. It looks definitely looks better than the than this stuff. Although that looks more dense than it did in 19 and 22. Beg your pardon as well. So Oak Kart simulations. If you put a new engine in the game, this has been talked about lots, but I'll repeat it. If you started a new engine for the game, you would lose probably all the modders completely. If you do modding for fun and you've got your head around Giant's engine and all that, and you said, right, we're going to go and do something else completely over here, most of them will go, I haven't got the time to learn and teach myself a new engine. They're updating the engine. They've got a new Giant's Engine 10 here. They've also said that Giant's Engine 10 is the only engine in the world that can handle what FarmSim throws at it. If you went and got Unreal off the shelf or something like that, or Frostbite, the amount of customization that you would have to do to it to make it work for FarmSim, it would be a bespoke engine anyway. And then the moment Frostbite or Unreal release a new version of their engine, yours is out of date. The cost attached to licensing it and stuff like that, it would be... the engine gig... Also, it's their IP. They own the engine. It's their baby. So why would you put that in the hands of somebody else? No, it's done. It's a done thing. It will all, as long as there's a farm sim, it will be on Giant's engine. The only time they would change if they created a new game. There you go. Said it. Said it. Missouri, new brand. Right there, I've got them here. Here we go. That's Summers. So there's the Summers website that we talked about before. This is Missouri. They're UK based. Just outside Gloucester in the UK, for those who know where that is. Really, really nice. Yeah, but someday they need to take the step if they're going to progress. Well, no, they just update the engine. That's how they progress. It won't be the last time I explain it. I know, Jos. I know. So some interesting products here, and they seem to be quite into kind of sustainable farming. These guys, they're talking about it a lot here in terms of like their ProTill and their iGen. They're very much environmental. So this could lead well or interestingly into something to do with precision farming or something like that. So interesting. I kind of like the introduction of that. Again, textures. This, you see a close up of this kind of harvested texture here. It's a bit like FS22. I think for me that's a little bit okay. Textures are the thing that kind of flattened me a little bit of everything. I'm like a little bit, okay. Now these have got a little bit of a blur in the background here. I'm not sure if that's the screenshots they've done that, or actually there's a little bit more depth of field to the game in 25 as well. We'll just have to see. But it's looking good. Again, tractor model looks fantastic. Really like that. Look at the detail inside the engine there. We've not had that before. So that's good. We'll just have to wait and see. Class, Xerion. Good class tractor. Not bad class tractor. This is nice though. Again, that dense crop in the background. And you can start to see this haze as well. Can you see this heat haze or slight fogging or just atmospheric? It's a little bit more atmospheric, which is quite nice. I do like that. And I think obviously that's some of the kind of detail that we're talking about. Also, I thought that they've maybe upgraded the character models slightly here. That's a nice comb over that, isn't it? Passenger seat there. We're going to see the passenger thing default in base game this time. We'll have to wait and see. A little production over here, but we couldn't work out what that was. We decided it was a silo. But that's a nice picture, that, isn't it? And this really shows off some of the atmospheric stuff. I think this is really nice. You know, that mist, like if you've ever been on a farm at 7 a.m. on a warm kind of harvesty day, that fog that rolls across the fields is really, really common. And I think this will help with graphics. This will help with frame rates as well. So if you look at that over there, that's just a flat grey. Now it's not trying to load all of the details of those trees in over there. So you'll get like the distance view stuff will make the frame rate go up as well. So it will be interesting. Steam on a manure heap in the winter. That would be cool. Don't put too much on the CGI. Thank you, Rock Fosk. Yes. Yeah, we can't read too much into the. I think these screenshots will tell you more about what the game's going to look like than the CGI trailer. Definitely. So, I wish they'd make a Dutch map for the block. Well, you never know in the future. We've been waiting a long time for a UK map, so I'm delighted we're potentially getting one of those. DriveX, these are on the blog post. So if you go to the Giant site, let me just jump to here. If you go to the Giant site, there is a big blog post, and you can scroll down, have a look at all of this stuff on there as well. They've even got a few screenshots from the video, but there's some of your vehicles. We'll come on to that in a minute because I'm just about to touch on the trailer. Sorry, the press release. Now this one, I missed this one when I did my vid, but it's on the page where you buy it, the purchase page. But that cow looks great. Look at the texture in the fur there. Look at the kind of under here. This grass texture looks fantastic. That looks like proper grass, not like kind of lines popping out of the ground. That does look like an orchard behind as well, yes. So I wonder if we'll see something else there. Maybe apples, pears, something like that. Don't look like olives, do they? So yeah, again, potential there. This excited me. This one, that is a good-looking cow. Hot wire fences too, yeah. So yeah, excited. It's so awesome saying that. I'm seeing a lot of cool items. Like this is the sprinkling that they've given us so far. I genuinely think that they are going to release stuff. Let's wait till FarmCon, and then there's no question they're holding back a couple of big ticket items which they'll announce closer to launch. They did it with 22. They did it with 19. They're keeping their powder dry. You don't blurt out everything on day one and then go, okay, now you've just got to wait 6 months. So there's definitely more to come. We'll just have to wait and see. I can't wait to see what we're going to see at FarmCon because I just think there's... Ooh, what's that? Oh, I've just spotted that. It's like some sort of feeder mixer, some sort of production. Interesting. Could be like a TMR mixer or something like that. But yes, no, it'll be interesting to see what we see at FarmCon because I'm crossing my fingers that we'll get to see gameplay. I'd love to see a little bit, even if it's a short demo or something on a screen. I'd love them to show us some gameplay. That's quite a big ask a week after they've announced this, but hey, you never know, right? You never know. They'll have a plan. They will have a plan. Do I think the European map mentioned in the blog post will be Zelonka or a new one? I would bet my new tractor chair on the fact it's Zelonka. They did it with 22. They moved Erlengratt over to 22 from 19 because it was the last release. And I think they'll do the same here. Yeah. Marcel said there would be gameplay. Come on, Marcel. See peas on the calendar. Yes, we've talked about peas as well. Rice Bowl is in the vertical stream going, I can't believe they put me in the next game. Bravo, sir. Bravo. From a marketing perspective, they always do a good job. The suspense they build. They do. They do. Green beans and peas are on the calendar. I think we've seen both of those, yeah. Record that, everyone. That could be attracted. You're going to have to split it 450 ways across both streams. There we go. 18 minutes. Thank you. Thank you for the check, Mark. I appreciate that. So that is all the images we've got so far. Do I think Silverun will be brought over? It looked like one of the posters in the collector's edition was Silverun. Oh, actually, it's Jimmy Sim. That would be interesting, wouldn't it? Oh, I haven't seen it there, but maybe it's up here. Let's go back to. Did I close those? I'm a second. Have a look. So if we go to games, so that is as much at the moment, are they? In there, I might need to click on my own link here to pull up the info. There it is. I did have it. I did have it. There we go. So there you go. €79.99. You're buying it in the UK and Europe. US, $79. This is for the year one bundle. So this is the expansion and the base game. Or if you just want to buy the game, it's $49. You still get your MacDon bonus pack, but you don't get season one pass. I mean, that would be, for me, based on what I think those things are, that is a banger of a first year expansion. It really is. And then we've got the DLC here, the MacDon pack. Nope. See, no price on that. They're just saying it's a pre-order, so you may not be able to buy that if you don't get it. They usually release it later on, though, don't they? So there we go. So enjoy upgraded graphics and physics, making virtual farming more immersive, atmospheric, and relaxing, whether you tackle agriculture, forestry, and animal husbandry single-handedly or together with friends in a cooperative multiplayer. I'm pretty sure they will put Silverun. I wonder if they will put Silverun in. It would be silly to not put a forestry map if they've got one. Maybe they're just not mentioning it because it's an older map, but interesting. Tim Maslin, nice to see you. How are you? Excited for 25? Yeah, generally I think the mood is excited, I think, isn't it? I think people are, they know there's going to be more to come. But equally, I think there's enough here to kind of whet the palate, if you know what I mean. To whet the palate. And what was the other thing I was going to show you? Oh, yes. Yeah, the press release I thought was interesting. There's a lot more information in the press release, certainly on the game engine stuff. So they say here, in a new, lush East Asian landscape filled with rice paddies. So that's obviously talking to the Asian map. A North American environment with plenty of open space. Now, somebody said, I wonder, now that PS4 and Xbox One have gone, whether or not we'll get bigger than 2 kilometer by 2 kilometer square maps. Another tin foil hat moment, but it would be interesting, wouldn't it? So we shall see. Ostrich with the sowing image. I wouldn't be too confident in the ground deformation that they mentioned, considering the sown area is just texture and almost there's no indication of tire tracks. I think it's going to be ground deformation light. I don't think it's going to be. I don't think you're going to sink into the ground with your tractor. I think it will be you run over the surface of it, and it might. If there's mud, it might move it out of the way, and it might drift back in. I don't know. I can't see it being the extent that we were talking in the Discord before, that you can get, if it rains for 4 hours and you can get bogged down in a gateway and you need to get towed out. I can't see that. That is a big job to do. But I would love to see 4x maps coming. If they're going to improve the engine with those kind of graphical things, so that like in distance fog and things like that really ramps up the frame rate, then we can add bigger maps in. That would be another mic drop if they 4x maps across the board. So do you get year 1 season pass with the collector's edition? Good question. I've looked at so much stuff now. I'm kind of going blind. No, doesn't pay you do. You would have to buy that separately if you wanted that. Grow 2 types of rice. So I think we've seen that. We've seen the paddy field one, and then we've seen the New Holland combine and the J&M auger wagon. I think that was rice that was being harvested there potentially. Spinach they mentioned at the end of the trailer as well. Other new crops, like I said, people have tried to decipher what's on that growing calendar on the collector's edition. So we think there might be peas in there. We think there might be beans in there as well, which is interesting. So well over 20 overall crops. So interesting to know what those are. Buffaloes and other animals. So we talked about the birds before on the covers. It'll be interesting to see what other animals are coming. Pre-sale's already out, Tim. You can order it as of right this very second, direct from the Giants website. So there you go. We'll and don't forget, if you want to support the channel, obviously drop in FarmSimGuy in the chat as well. That would be awesome. So machinery there, all the usual machinery, things like that. Looking really good. Asian farming, new types of specialist machinery as well. Machinery is machinery, right? You're going to have it in the game. They've obviously got their deals with loads and loads of manufacturers, which is great, and the more of that, the better. And the quality of the mods will be good. But the stuff that I'm excited about is, what's going to happen with the engine. The fact that they've put, based on the latest and modding friendly Giants, why would they put that in there? Why would they put that in there if they weren't going to do something to help modders make it easier to make mods? We'll just have to wait and see. So I think I hope, it's been something that's been talked about for a while now, is more support for modders. All the modders in my Discord and who follow me and the guys we've spoken to at FarmCon and other events are like, do you know what? It would make it so much easier if we just knew how to do stuff and they just leave us in the dark. We have to pull apart other people's mods to work out how to do it and stuff. So hopefully there's some sort of support there, which would be awesome. The distance fog excites me. The enhanced shadows, I think, will look great. Dynamic weather effects. I'd love to know how much and how varied and how deep they're going to go with that. I mean, are we going to get just more rain or more regular rain? It looks like we're going to get rain on the ground, sitting on the ground after it's rained and stuff like that, which would be great. And I think we've already seen kind of leaves on the ground and wet roads and stuff after it's rained. And I know modders have done that as well. So that could be good. A better search engine to find mods. Oh my god, that would be awesome, wouldn't it? So weather's interesting, and ground deformation is obviously super exciting as well. So yeah, all of that for me kind of says there's some really interesting stuff still to come out, which we're not going to find out. So I will be, if there is stuff at FarmCon, if there is gameplay or something at FarmCon, Marcel said there's likely to be gameplay at FarmCon. It's not just watching it and going, oh, look at the tractor driving along. It will be looking down at the tyres and seeing what's happening and seeing what we can take away. I've got Mark and Jan there this year, so we'll have 3 sets of eagle eye, and Argsy. We'll have 4 sets of eagle eyes watching stuff and picking it apart. So it would be good. It would be good. I don't think it will go as far as Terrafarm Prime Flux. I'm not confident that that's going to be the level they go to. We'll just have to wait and see, though. So there we go. I think that probably just about covers it. Anybody got any quick questions? I've got 9 minutes left until I need to disappear off and cheer on my football team. But if there's anything that anybody else has kind of spotted or thinks that we've missed. Oh, construction missions could be interesting as well. Yeah, definitely. There's something around that. I kind of hope it's more... Hamish mentioned this afternoon in the chat, maybe it's like if you can build your own farm buildings or something like that takes time. The roller coaster was cool, but let's be honest, I don't want a roller coaster in the Scottish Highlands. DJ Saab DX12 support, I think it already is DX12, isn't it? Sean W, any word of it coming to Game Pass? Don't know yet, Sean. We'll have to wait and see. More dust yet. I think there's a lot more particles and things like that. Is there any way you can use your partner code but order from Steam? No, Toby, but you can order from Giants and put the code into Steam if you want to. So, yeah. Outlook for the footy score tonight. Nothing more than a win will do, I'm afraid. Stewing off at other fire engines still. I expect we'll probably see the fire engines come back at some point. Custom loans mod, impact damage, nothing to tell us what's that at the moment. So, are you sure about? Well, maybe, I don't know actually. Yeah, don't quote me on that. It certainly works for DLCs. If you buy a Giants DLC, so when we've done DLC giveaways, it's definitely you can put that DLC code in. But don't quote me on a game official. I will check that, Martin, and I will come back to you on that one. You're on Discord, aren't you? So I'll check that and give you a note. But in general, I think it's looking great. I genuinely think we've got the potential here for a bit of a gem. And I'm not just saying that. It looks good. Well, I don't know what more I can say. It does look good. So yeah. We shall see. And do you know what I'm going to do? Let's do with the last, what are we? We've got 6 minutes left. I am going to do my very first giveaway for FS25. So, if this is kind of a daft question, isn't it? If you would like a copy or the opportunity to win a copy of FS25, I will send you a pre-order link, and we will make sure you get a copy. So the keyword is going to be FS25, of course. Doesn't need to be case sensitive. So if you want to win a copy, we'll roll it now and we'll announce it in the chat. Fire in FS25 in the chat there, and we'll see how we get on. So many people. There we go. Oh my goodness. Good luck, everyone. Let's give a copy away, shall we? Why not? It's launch day. Why not? Let's see. Let's see what can happen. You don't need to put it more than once as well. It will only record you once, so you don't need to spam. Tim Maslin, I see you. You must really want it. On console, sadly. Yes, unfortunately, if you're on console as well, it is only PC. I should have clarified that. So, so there you go. But FS25. If you want to be probably one of the first people to own a copy from the off, I need to tell you about the minifigs. So these Argsy made these, and he sent them over from New Zealand. There's a mini FSG here, and a mini Argsy here. Or if you can see that on the vertical. Oh yeah, they are peeking in the corner on the vertical as well. There you go, Tim. Yes, and if you are unlucky and you don't win, and you do end up buying it, definitely chuck my code or any other content creator's code in, actually. You don't have to support me, but don't leave it empty, because somebody out there will benefit from a very little contribution towards their channel if their name is on it. So, no, there's a Lego hobby for me, yes. Yes, there's quite a few Lego builds tucked away in the corner. It's this FarmSim stuff, it takes up too much of your time. Tim's going to New Zealand, awesome. Right, I think we're done there. Let me just close all of this down. Well, I'll leave that one up because that's interesting. Right, I'm going to roll it. I am going to roll it. We have got, oh my goodness. I think virtually everybody who's watching has entered here. Right. ProFarmer DK, get your FS25 in. Come on. We are going to roll it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom. Siphon 583. It is your lucky day. I see you're a channel member as well, so if you want to... there you go. Go on. Well done, mate. That's great to see. Drop me a note in the Discord. I will get that sorted for you, and I will... just drop me a DM, and we'll get it sorted over the next few days. And we'll take it from there. But awesome. Congratulations, man. Delighted I could do that. That's a nice end to the stream. You know what else would be nice? If England win tonight. So, on that note, I am going to say thank you all. Enjoyed that. Lovely to have so many of you here. Lovely to hear the positivity about FS25 as well. It really is nice that there's some good stuff coming. And so, from that perspective, I am going to say thanks for watching. More to come. FarmCon is just over a week away, so we'll be bringing you all the news we can from there as well. Hogs and I are trying to work out if we can do a live stream after day one at FarmCon, so we'll get some information towards you. And there we go. Let's go. Granny Walker, you can't afford it, but start saving the pennies, and we'll be doing some more giveaways over the next few months as well, so stay tuned. And thanks all, like genuinely, thank you for the support. You are an incredible bunch of people, and I love days like this because like we all come together because of this game, and Giants have done a really good job, I think, so far with this. And then, like I said, there's more to come. So appreciate you all. Turbo, come see me at FarmCon. Everyone else, enjoy the rest of your evening, day, morning, wherever you are. And have a good rest of your week. Stay safe, stay happy, and we'll see you all again very soon. Take care. Bye for now.